Lucky he didn't get his ass kicked, particularly after the event was over. If not by Chris Rock, to the fellas he had there with him. I mean, damn. Denzel and Bradley Cooper and Tyler Perry having to calm you down. Your publicist having to run out and calm you down. I mean, damn. Come on, bro. Come on, man. There's no excuse for it, ladies and gentlemen. Don't even try to justify it, okay? Chris Rock said it years ago. Every time black folks doing something, you know who messes it up. I never dreamed in my wildest dreams I'd be saying that about Will Smith. A black man, Will Packer, did a phenomenal job producing the Oscars, and you do this to stain yourself, to stain the Academy Awards? Damn.
Until this moment about Jada having alopecia. She's wonderful and great. So is Will Smith, which we all know. They're both phenomenal. But you do not do what Will did in that setting. Go backstage and handle that if you must. Horrible look. First, let me say, him playing Richard Williams really quick. I know it's not about that, but I don't know if you saw the movie. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I saw it.
That was an incredible movie. But Nick, now to the slap. What was your take on that whole situation?
I thought the movie was mediocre, but that's a whole other debate that we can have. Like, I mean, it was all right. It was all right. I mean, if you're gonna give Will an Oscar, it ain't for that one. But anyway, I mean,
Carry on.
The joke wasn't even that good. Like, I mean, I've never been slapped like that, but I would have liked it to be for a much better joke. Like, it was a dated joke. And I mean, I hate to be like, have too much fun with this because like our group chats and Twitter is on fire, but like being on TV is a whole different ball of wax. And who knows what's going on in Will Smith's mind to do something like that, because that's certainly out of the realm of possibility, but I guess it's not anymore. So I know I used to say all the time that I'm comfortable with free speech as long as you are comfortable with the repercussions of that free speech. And this feels like it fits into that same category. So I was shocked that it happened. I'm still in shock, but I'm not quite sure how to react.
Nick, let me say this. Obviously, his wife dealing with alopecia. You know, it's very serious. You're dealing with health issues. You're feeling a lot of stress. And then he's making fun of your wife. And in that moment, and you see Jada's reaction, I don't know if I'm the only person that feels this way, but it didn't bother me. I was just like, Will has his wife's back. Like, he loves his wife so much. And in that moment, that's just how he reacted.
Yeah, I woke up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, checked at my phone, and saw Will Smith slaps Chris Rock. So I'm thinking this is a joke. And then I watched the video, and I was just stunned. Like, it's something I had never anticipated could possibly happen, and especially over a joke. It seems like, I feel you on the defending part, but it feels like an overreaction.
I just feel like it wasn't necessarily over a joke. We like this. It's about time we showed Detroit some love. You know who certainly made for Hard Knocks? The Lions coach, Dan Campbell, and clearly HBO felt the same way. Let me just refresh your memory.
So this team's going to be built on, we're going to kick you in the teeth, all right? And when you punch us back, we're going to smile at you. And when you knock us down, we're going to get up. And on the way up, we're going to bite a kneecap off, all right? And we're going to stand up. And then it's going to take 2 more shots to knock us down, all right? And on the way up, we're going to take your other kneecap, and we're going to get up. And then it's going to take 3 shots to get us down. And when we do, we're going to take another hunk out of you. Before long, we're going to be the last one standing, all right? That's going to be the mentality.
Just going
That's
for
my guy.
Just
not a
going
coach,
for it.
Not a coach that I'm rooting for more in the NFL than Dan Campbell. I played with Dan in Detroit, and I've watched him play games with like RoboCop type arm braces on because his body's so beat up. I think he's a perfect coach for that city. Hard Knocks. I'm excited that it's there.
He's a gamer.
Jared Goff was on Hard Knocks before, right? And then we learn that he didn't learn very much in school.
He didn't know the sun rose in the east instead of the west. Yeah.
This is going to be a good
All right,
season.
Nick, what do you think? What do you think? You like the Lions on Hard Knocks?
It seems fun. Like between Jared Goff learning about basic facts about the world and science is going to be great, and Dan Campbell. His speeches, his pre-practice speeches, I feel like are going to have game day intensity. I'm looking forward to this. There may not be much Lions football to watch in like December or January. It may not be that interesting.
That was it's unnecessary though. Just because Stephen A is not here doesn't mean you have to take your shot at Detroit.
I'm not. Detroit's beautiful. I was just there. My cousin lives there. It's a fun place to be. in
Yeah.
the summertime. But they will not be in the playoffs. Is that crazy to say? Like, it's fact
I don't
that
know, in the
their
NFC?
season, the
In the
exciting
NFC?
part of their season is going to be the preseason. It's going to be hard knocks, watching them bite kneecaps and whatnot, and Jared Goff learn about the position of the moon. Does you think he knows anything about like the moon? No. Does he even know what it is?
All
He
right,
thinks
all
it's a
right, all
big
right.
ball of cheese.
Let's leave it there. I
I
like it. I think it's a good fit, and I'm with you. Detroit's a good time. Downtown, they've really built it up. People should check it out. Let's go over to Naptown now, though, gentlemen. The Colts, they're starting a new quarterback week 1 for the 7th straight year. This season, it'll be a proven vet in the 4-time Pro Bowler, Matty Ice. After 13 years with the Falcons, Matt Ryan headed to Indy. Colts head coach Frank Reich had this to say this weekend about Matt Ryan, telling NFL Network, I think everyone saw from the outside that this is a good fit. Like, people can universally agree. You got a guy who's still playing at a high level and a team and roster that is built to make some noise. We needed each other. I love that quote. Dan, is it more likely the Colts over or underachieve?
Well, as I sit here today, it's going to be an underachievement. Now, Matt Ryan's an absolute stud. He's still playing at big-time level football-wise. But the Colts, I don't think, are as good of a roster as I kind of felt they were mid-November last year right now. I mean, they don't have a left tackle right now. They don't have a number 1 bona fide tight end right now. Their starter retired in Jack Doyle. And they don't have a number 2 or a number 3 wide receiver. And their number 1 wide receiver, Michael Pittman, is good. I still think there's some question marks if he's your bona fide one. And so until they got to do all that without a first-round pick this year. And so how do they supplement this offensive roster that run blocking wise, this offensive line is phenomenal. And with Jonathan Taylor as an MVP candidate, they're phenomenal. They're not great in pass protection, and they don't really have a plethora of pass catching options. Now, Matt Ryan will be more accurate than Carson Wentz, which will lead to a better performance by those receivers, but it's still not in that conference. It's still going to be really difficult for me to sit here and think that Matt Ryan, unless they get some supplemental pieces via the draft and maybe some extended weeks of free agency, that it's going to be this team that all of a sudden can go and beat, some of those top 4 or 5 teams in the conference. I will tell you this, Molly. I do not think that after they moved on from Carson Wentz, I did not feel great about their options or chances of winning the division. Matt Ryan still gives them a very solid chance to win that division in contention with the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you're right about the conference being tough, but I don't think the division is that tough. So I guess whether they're going to overachieve or underachieve, I would say overachieve because I'm setting the line. I don't think people think they're going to be able to take that division from the Titans. And I think that's hard for us to have this debate where they overachieve or underachieve if we don't determine what the expectation is. And right now, I think the expectation is probably a wild card, and I think they'll overachieve because I think they can win that division. You pointed out all the holes that they have, and you also pointed out that there's still time to fill them. But the big acquisition that they made was a quarterback, most important position on the field. And I know that Matt Ryan is an MVP, Matt Ryan, and Carson Wentz was not terrible for them last year. He was just terrible in important moments. And I think the addition of a veteran, smart quarterback like Matt Ryan elevates them in those moments. And I think that gets them past their division rival, the Titans, and they win the division. They're not going to go in a deep playoff run, though.
Yeah, I guess it's all about what your expectations are. If it's funny, it's I guess not funny, but ironic. If you had asked this question and we went back in time to week 15 last year, the Colts were, in many people's eyes, certainly mine, the team that no one wanted to play. Like, they had just gone on that month stretch where they hammered Buffalo and hammered Arizona, and you're like, this team's playing as good as anybody. And I think the question you have to ask is, when Matt Ryan comes in, like, does he not do the terrible left-handed interception against Tennessee to lose the game, or the crosser that Byard picks off? Does he not do the last 2-week stretch against the Raiders and the Jacksonville Jaguars to play so poorly? But he also was a quarterback that played good football for a 3-month stretch last year. And I think it's a fair question to ask. Whether you don't like numbers or whatever, do we feel really confident that Matt Ryan is going to come in and go 28 plus touchdowns and 7 interceptions or less? Like, that would be a very good performance.
Yeah, by the numbers, and like if you go QBR by all